This is Cat's Diamond Painting. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you've joined me here before. First of all, excuse me for my rather husky voice today. I'm into week 2 or 3 of a cough, which as each day goes on just destroys my voice. So it's not so bad now, but I've got a couple more videos to film after this one. We shall see how far I get before I become completely inaudible and it's all pointless. Anyway, I am here today to do a post review of Myrtle Ho 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 by Richard Lorenz at Diamond Art Club, as you will have seen from the thumbnail. So without further ado, here she is. Now, I know that Christmas is over, but I didn't finish this early enough to show you before Christmas, and I didn't want to not show you because I just had so much fun with this one. So you'll have to excuse me. It's a little touch of lingering Christmas in January. So I was lucky enough to be sent this painting by Diamond Art Club as a sneak peek, and I cannot tell you how thrilled I was to be offered this one because I love Richard Lorenz and his crazy, crazy birds. I've got several, as anyone who's followed the channel for a while will know, and I know that they're growing on some of you. I sometimes get comments saying that I've sold you on them, so that's, you know, I'm very pleased about that. So let me show you all of it, but I will pan over it in a little bit. So here she is in all her creepy glory. I was explaining in my Q4 review video where I briefly showed this, that Richard Lorenz actually commented on my Instagram channel where I posted a finished picture of this, and he described Holiday Myrtle as being rather intense, and I just thought that intense was a perfect way to describe her expression, probably better than creepy. And I said how I relate. This is me at Christmas when I'm running around like a headless chicken. I've left everything too late because my son's birthday's in mid-November, so I kind of don't get going with Christmas properly till after that. Oh, inevitable cat hair to pick off there. And yeah, it's just, yeah, decorations strewn through her hair, dressed the part, but she's feeling a bit intense. So, yeah, as soon as I got offered this as a sneak peek, I knew I was going to work on it this year. I love paintings that are seasonal, but a little bit different. Like I love, you know, more traditional Christmas scenes, but I've done one of those in the past. I did Skating by Twilight, and I'm definitely not saying I'd never do another because they are gorgeous. But I like to do things that are Christmassy, in this case, for this particular season, but also a little less traditional as well, just for the fun factor. And given that I always enjoy Richard Lorenz's birds, this is just the perfect painting for me. So it was the usual high quality that I expect from Diamond Art Club. The drills fit together very, very snugly. It looks wonderful when finished. I can see a couple that just need pushing in slightly because of how snugly they fit together. So I'm going to go over this with my roller afterwards. But the effect is just wonderful because they fit so closely. You know, there's barely any gapping whatsoever. And the rendering, as usual, is just absolutely on point. I think that Diamond Art Club's rendering style suits Richard Lorenz's birds really well as well. You know, you get the really clear, crystal clear, in fact, definition, and the colours just beautiful. I think the clear outlines that they tend to go, where other diamond painting companies may go for slightly more blurring around the edges, the kind of, what I'm trying to say is the definition that they give really, really suits these birds because they pop out from the background. Because quite often with Richard Lorenz, the background is this fairly neutral colour like you see in this one, and then you get the bird just like popping out. Love it. And this one, of course, has got the writing too, ho, 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 at the bottom. And this was all in ABs, which was fun. I will say with this one, the grid was particularly tight. And by that, I mean the diamond painting canvas, before I laid drills down, it was sized and spaced so that the drills fit extra snugly. Diamond Art Club always goes for a snug fit with their square drills, and it's one of the reasons I love them so much, because you get that finish that I just mentioned, and it's also super satisfying. This one, it almost seemed just even a little bit snugger than usual. And there were a few places where that just meant I had to really push the drills in. In fact, these A-B blocking sections. So I make my own diamond painting putty and I sell that on Etsy. I have a shop. Oops, sorry. Just knocking into things. I have a shop called Crafting Cat UK, and one of the things I kind of advertise about my putty is that it handles A-B drills, because generally it does. But even I found with this one that I had to keep switching out to an older pen, you know, a pen that had older putty in it to do these ABs, because you had to push them in with so much force that, yeah, I mean, my putty handles ABs well, but there is a limit. If you have to really push them in, it will still stick a bit. So yeah, if you have any issues with ABs on a tight grid like this, I do recommend keeping another pen with older putty or wax or whatever you tend to use to the side. And also, I used to often save ABs to the end in a section just because I like them, but I find it easier actually to do them first in a section, so there's a bit more room around them, and it can be the other drills that you put that force onto to really push them into place. This kit also had fairy dust drills, so this was the first time I think that I've used fairy dust drills in squares. I've only actually used them in a couple of kits so far. So they were these green drills here. Let me bring it up so you can see. Whoops. So those drills there are fairy dust. And there was another colour. What was the other colour? Ah, that sort of turquoisey colour there. That was also a fairy dust drill. So fairy dust drills are the glittery drills that are an in-between of ABs and normal drills. Oh gosh, I'm getting all tied up in knots here. So basically all of these fairy lights around Myrtle's head were in either AB drills or fairy dust drills. And I thought that was great because obviously it made them kind of glowy, which is perfect. I will say I did have a fair few trash drills with this painting. I finished it without running out of drills. I still have never run out of drills on a DAC kit, which does show that they do a really good job of balancing it, of judging it rather, how many drills to include. But there were some colours that I felt like were going to come quite close. And the black drills in particular were really quite bitty on this one. Here's my little trash drill pot. Yeah, every time I poured them into my tray, I had to spend some time going over them and picking out the kind of worst offenders. And I'm not sure how well you'll be able to see, particularly if my camera refuses to focus on the right thing. Oh dear. There you are. It's focused, but you still can't see much. You can see there's a lot of black drills in there. And I would say that's a decent amount of trash drills for a sort of medium-sized painting like this is. But as I always say, at the end of the day, if I get through the painting without running out of drills, I don't mind too much because there's always going to be some trash drills. And yeah, it's fine. I got through without running out. I absolutely love her eyes. I think her eyes and her whole face, really, the way that pops out is wonderful. And also this bow, which I'm looking at, I mean, it looks amazing in person, but I'm also looking at it in the viewfinder as I'm filming. And just, yeah, the 3D effect, really, that you get with that is wonderful. Oh, I love it. Also her little hat. How cute is that? So, I'll just quickly show you how close I came with some colours, just to prove my point about the trash drills. So 310, right, so that's all I have left of 310, which is plenty. You can see it's not like I was about to run out. However, with a painting that has a lot of a particular colour, you get more spares the more of that colour you need. So typically if you've got a colour that's really prevalent in a painting, I end up with loads, maybe even unopened bags of drills, and that's all I've got left. So, you know, it's fine, but that is what it is. Some of these have gone pretty low, but then they're ones that didn't have so much to start off with. I don't think there's anything else that was, oh, well, yeah, there are a few that got pretty low. Generally the ones that there weren't too much of, so I'm not going to dwell on that anymore. And then these are some of the colours that I had, the other colours that had a lot in them. Sorry, I'm stumbling over my words today. It's not good. So like, you know, this one I've got absolutely masses of, for example. The red ABs went a little low considering how many there were. But as I keep saying, we got through it. It's fine. So I think what I'm going to do now is just pan over it in a bit more detail. Well, pan over it a bit closer so you can see it in more detail. And then I will just come back and give you my final thoughts and say goodbye. So yeah, back with you in a moment. So there is Myrtle Ho Ho Ho, as named by Diamond Art Club. Holiday Myrtle, as Richard Lorenz seems to call her. And yeah, what can I say? She's fabulous. I think this is about the third or fourth Richard Lorenz bird that I have diamond painted. And I have still others in my stash. And I do enjoy them so much every time. I think they give me a really good blend of confetti and colour blocking, because you tend to have these backgrounds that have a lot of small areas of colour blocking, you know, as in you don't have big intense areas that get boring. You are switching the colour in your tray still fairly often, but you're using your multi-placer and you're whizzing through it quite quickly. And then the only bits of confetti really are sort of in her face. Like a lot of her head is actually black. It's not as obvious when you look at the finished piece because the other colours mixed in pop out more, but there is a lot of 310 in her head, so that didn't go too slowly either. Yeah, it's gorgeous. I think they've done a fabulous job rendering it as usual. It's the perfect size for it. Didn't need to be any bigger. There's great definition on it. And I highly recommend this painting to anyone who's looking ahead to next Christmas and thinking about what they might want to work on for the season, who likes to do something a little bit different, a little bit kooky, particularly any Lorenz bird fans. It's been a lot of fun. So thank you for watching. If you have enjoyed what I've shown you today, please consider dropping a like on the video. Please consider subscribing if you haven't already to the channel. And I will hopefully see you again soon. Bye bye.